Yo, YouTube, we is back. Happy holidays. You know what I'm saying? We about to approach a new year. 2025 has been an interesting year so far, for sure. But we got some interesting sauce to get into. Apparently, there's a lot of heat going around with the Faze Clan. You know what I'm saying? So, so we're gonna check it out, see what's going on, and just dissect and just give our thoughts on the situation for sure.
Experiment is now seemingly over, and this seems to be something that was brewing for a while now, because honestly, since the summertime, Faze Clan has just...
Damn, bro, like what a time. Yo, like I remember like when the Faze Clan like first started like airing up, like first started eating like when the group, like it was mainly like a Call of Duty thing. And then like over the years, just it evolved itself into something different. You know what I'm saying? And like all things must come to an end. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just completely different, and things ended unfortunately, and it ended in a way that we didn't see coming. But we're gonna hear more about it.
It's been going downhill, and it really all started back in July of 2025 when the CEO of the company, Banks, started getting into a lot of drama on social media because of his involvement within cryptocurrency. He was getting accused of doing a lot of crypto scams, a lot of crypto rug pulls, and because of all of those, he started to face a lot of back.
Oof, you know what I'm saying? I think I remember like a while back about hearing about the situation and everything like that. I didn't dive too deep, but just like the whole scamming in general, especially just it being around your name doesn't look good, for your brand, and you know what I'm saying, just especially everybody around you in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a lot of things that's just been going on that's just been leading up to this moment.
Backlash, and with him being the CEO of Faze Clan, of course they started facing backlash from his actions as well, which ultimately caused Banks to step down as the CEO of Faze and lead the company completely.
And just wait until y'all see that crypto shit that they up to, twin. They got something cooking, twin. That's why all these trying to, hey, bro.
Yeah, like, and apparently like there was a whole thing with Bruce and everything like that, and like people been saying like he's been predicting like the stuff that's been going on throughout Faze and the situation and shit like that. And this shit is crazy, like, to really think about it. You know what I'm saying? And this is like during the time where like, you know what I'm saying, like this was like when like everything was going on with Bruce and everything like that, and it's just, you know what I'm saying? And you had people that were just like calling him like, making him seem like the villain and everything like that, and like now you got this going on, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy.
I ain't gonna say too much. I'ma just laugh for right now, bro, cause y'all don't get it. So I'ma just laugh, bro, but just remember what the I'm talking about, bro. Alright? That's all I'ma do. Is laugh.
Now, unfortunately, that wasn't the worst thing to happen for Faze during that time, because just 1 week later, things only continued to get worse as Blackboy Max, who was one of the most popular members of Faze Clan at the time, announced via Twitter that he was leaving. And at first, that whole situation was very vague.
Yeah, like from what I'm getting, like everybody disbanded. You know what I'm saying? And there's definitely like response videos. 2 wild niggas left, and you know what I'm saying, like it's a whole lot, you know what I'm saying, but we just like getting into
he didn't give much reasoning. It was very random. At the time, all Max really said was that he wanted to focus on himself and build up his own brand.
Y'all was hearing echo, my bad, but yes, I'm leaving Faze. Like I just said, I can't fully go into depth why I'm leaving Faze, but I am leaving, and I'm ready to, embark on my journey and work the hardest I ever have in my career to do whatever I gotta do to make 5-star the biggest shit possible, make myself the biggest shit possible.
And if this is really the end, you know what I'm saying, things happen for a reason, you know what I'm saying? Maybe this is a time and opportunity for everybody to sprout out and do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? maybe that, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully that's the case.
If your pussy hurt because you're mad that I want to build something for myself, sorry, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm still gonna do it, and I'm gonna make this 5-star shit the biggest shit ever, and me the biggest shit ever. That don't mean I don't f with these. Don't mean I won't f with these. That don't mean I won't do shit with these. I love them. They're my boys. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm gonna do what I feel is right for me. And then when you see this shit work out down the line, you'll see what I mean. That's all I'm gonna say.
Now, once this happened, many people thought Faze Clan was finished. Some people even thought that this was going to lead to like a domino effect, which meant everyone was going to start leaving the clan after Max left. And now it's starting to seem like this is how that entire thing is going to pan out.
That Max left Faze, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't think so, bro. Nah, actually, I support my man's whatever he does. But for Faze, bro, it's like when one person leaves, chat, y'all ever seen? It's a domino effect, bro. Y'all know what I mean? When one
Absolutely. It absolutely is. It definitely is a domino effect. You know, especially if you have like a main member that, you know what I'm saying, is exciting as someone like Plaque. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, you know what I'm saying? It fucks up the chemistry. You know what I'm saying? It's like that one friend in the friend group. You know what I'm saying? When he moves or goes to like a different school or a different state, it's just, the chemistry is not the same. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand, at the end of the day, like, you gotta realize, like Faze, like, just like I said from the beginning, Faze like adapted into this whole different thing and everything like that. And I guess just the way how things has been going is just, it was just inevitable for things to end.
When they leave, it becomes a domino effect. The whole crew gonna leave, bro. It's generally just the truth. It's just the truth. Right or wrong. Right or wrong. It's like
Speaking of the other groups, we're like I know they probably still gotta be out there and everything like that. I don't tap too much into like the Call of Duty groups and like these gaming groups in general. Like, remember like Optic, what is it, Faze? No, it's not Faze. It's like Optic Promote, like Optic. You had like different clans and shit. Like, that's crazy.
Dynasty. When one leaves, bro, it's gonna become a domino effect. Next gonna be blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. But you know.
Now, while that's looking like an all-time take right now, originally it didn't age that well because no one initially left the clan after Max left. In fact, if anything, Faze continued to grow more and more after the departure of the two key members. You see, they still went on to do the annual Faze Subathon, which took place in October, I believe, and that ended up doing amazing. Literally every single member of Faze Clan surpassed over 100,000 subscribers, which is something that's completely unheard of on Twitch for an entire organization to have over 100,000 subscribers each. And of course, with achieving a milestone like that, this also led to them once again winning Organization of the Year at the 2025 Streamer Awards.
I want to say thank you to anyone who voted for us. This year we did our second ever subathon where all of us reached 100,000 subscribers. We also managed to go down the list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the leaderboard for Twitch. Yes. So, and
oh my gosh, this 6-7 shit is getting out of hand. You need to get that, throw that shit out. Throw it in the trash. Don't bring it right
million
back.
subs across the board of all Faze Clan. Yes.
Oh man, hey. I've been a part of this for almost 15 years now, y'all. A part of Faze, and I think
my man's really an OG. He's been there since day one, bit practically. And like I said, like the clan just evolved into something different.
I think I could confidently say this is the most proud I've ever been of where Faze is at. Everybody on the stage, I want to thank you guys so much for voting for us, for believing in us. It means so much to me. Thank you guys, and yeah, Faze up.
Now, after the Streamer Awards took place, this is where everything really started going downhill for everyone, but it's looking like FaZe has now got caught in this drama, despite not really getting into many problems at the actual Streamer Awards, other than India Love saying Adapt didn't deserve to win his Breakout Streamer of the Year award. But anyways, the events that unfolded after the award show would be much more serious for Faze Clan, because just a few weeks after the awards took place, FaZe officially announced the second annual FaZemas, which is supposed to be a thing where like every member of FaZe goes live every day all the way up till Christmas. This is something they started doing last holiday season and they plan to do it again this year. But you see, this FaZemas didn't go anywhere near as good as the FaZemas last year, because you see, as soon as the whole thing started, fans began to notice some very weird behavior going on with a few of the members. And this trend of like weird things going on continued for a few days, up until the point where some of the members didn't even finish doing the whole FaZe.
Yeah, bro. Everything always ain't what it seems. Like, there's always some stuff going on behind the scenes, bro. Especially when niggas doing projects and this, that, and the third. Like, we was having like a whole discussion about this in the last video and everything like that with the whole Iron Mouse situation. Like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
FaZemas streams, they stopped in the middle of it, which again everyone thought was very weird, but they didn't have any explanation as to why that was going on. There was all types of rumors and think pieces going around. People were saying that they had bought a new house, people were saying that they were leaving FaZe. Honestly, people didn't have no idea what was truly going on. People was just guessing. It wasn't until all of the FaZe members unfollowed FaZe Banks on social media that's what people began to realize that maybe this new FaZe project was starting to come to an end, which of course sparked all types of think pieces online.
Genuinely, here's what I think. I think that it was from the beginning, right? Nobody could get on the right terms. Nobody can get on the right terms. And both sides, right? They didn't agree to what what the foundation was, right? So they bought FaZe. I don't know who bought it. I think it's pretty easy. You guys can do your research. Here's what I think. FaZe was bought, but then whoever bought it was like, yo, how do I get the money? Where's the money coming in at? How do I get the money? And I think that's the issue. There was no gain. But here's what I think needs to happen if I'm the FaZe boys. You guys need to leave FaZe, rebrand into a new group, so you guys have equity of your own group, right? You guys need to have full on equity of your own group. Leave FaZe, rebrand, and that's what you guys got to do.
Now, it turned out people were actually right. The quote-unquote new FaZe Clan as we knew it began coming to an end after 5 key members announced their departures via Twitter, which kind of had everyone shocked, even with all of the drama that was going on. Honestly, I didn't really believe it at first. I thought it was a troll, maybe a promo for something. But when Adapt made his tweet announcing his departure, that's when it hit like, okay, this is a real thing. Because I don't even think Adapt would troll like this.
Honestly, who got sold the clan? Who was sold the clan? You know what I'm saying? And why wasn't no income coming in? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was going on beforehand? Like, was they gaining anything before they had sold the, you know what I'm saying? So before Homeboy sold the rights, like, you know what I'm saying? This the answers we need.
As you guys know, FaZe has been Adapt's entire life since he was like 16 years old. So for him to tweet and announce his departure, we all knew that this had to be something serious. As the day continued, more and more news started coming out. And obviously none of the people who left today further spoke on any of these situations because it was Christmas. I mean, this had to be the worst possible Christmas for FaZe Banks ever. But fortunately, Max did end up going live to finish off his final stream of his personal Christmas marathon. And this stream was titled The Truth. And in this stream, Max finally shared some information 5 months later about why he left FaZe Clan in the first place. Starting with some information that was shared earlier in the day by his cousin and former employee, I guess Morgan, also known as Fatboy Dip, who claimed Max had left FaZe Clan because they was trying to charge him 20% of his monthly revenue or $20,000 just to simply live in the guest house.
Like, I'll give you one part. Gang, you see that little townhouse? That Max was in? And FaZe? They tried to make that pay 20 bands a month. What the fuck? Or give a percentage of myself. What the fuck?
Now, when Max started his stream, he did give a little bit more detail about all of these situations, stating that he originally started feeling the negative effects of Faze Clan about a year ago during the first Phasemas, where they weren't able to do this group sponsorship, and because they didn't do this group sponsor, they had to get pulled from the house that they were streaming in, which left Max questioning how much control they really had over their own careers.
But we had a sponsor. There was a sponsor for that day, and didn't end up doing the sponsor. Game night. Yes, if he was there, he was there. Didn't end up doing the sponsor. There was difficulties with the sponsor. Yeah. After that happened, according to the assistants and staff of the creators, they said that FaZe has pulled everybody for the rest of the month and sent niggas home early. Right? This is the first time where in my head I went, how much control do we have here? And how much control do we have over us?
Right. You definitely could see the confusion on both parts. And there was no clear transaction at all. But the whole reason why they was, demanding money is because they wasn't getting no money. See, that's the thing. It was just like a empty shell if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I think things happen for a reason, and it's probably, it's probably for the best for them to just split up the Faze Clan. You know what I'm saying? Let the Faze Clan just be its own thing and let it go back into the gaming aspect. You know what I'm saying? And just have everybody who's in the Faze Clan or part of the Faze Clan just do their own thing and just make their own group. And then, like Homeboy said, they'll be able to build a foundation. You know what I'm saying? And money will be generated. And it would be no problems with the money.
That makes sense.
Shortly thereafter, Max also talked about how he was forced to fire his current manager and hire some other manager of FaZe's choosing, which was extremely hard for Max because he had already planned so many things with his current manager, including his 365-day marathon that he was planning to do, which abruptly came to an end, and now we have a little bit more insight as to why.
Someone at FaZe had introduced me to my old manager, Brandon. Shout out, Brandon. Brandon had falling out with person who introduced me, and person who introduced me tells me, according to my assistant and my creative director at the time, who were sitting in on all calls because they're on my team, tell me I have to fire my manager and get rid of him, or I can't be here, when they're the person who introduced me.
The final nail in the coffin for Max was when they tried to charge him this 20% of his revenue or the $20,000 just to live in his house. He stated that along with everything else that has just been building up made him feel kind of like a puppet, and that's what ultimately led to his decision to finally man up and leave.
Point of this is to tell y'all this. We had no control. There was no control. Or it's like we're puppets. At least that's what it felt like. You get what I'm saying? Anything could happen at any moment. It come time, y'all know the whole war happened, etc. Right? And then we had FaZe Camp. I'm not gonna lie, for the past 2 months, I was on some shit like, damn. Am I really gonna leave? Am I gonna stay? Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I was just on the fence with it because at the end of the day, I but we don't own this shit. We don't. And we don't have control.
And if you feel like that there's problems on both ends, if there's problems, I think that, you know what I'm saying, it's either that, you know what I'm saying, that there's no communication where there's need to be communication, things need to be talked through, or I think it just need to go their separate ways.
Over our careers as much as we should have.
Now, unfortunately, Max couldn't go into much more detail than that because apparently he is still under contract and things like that. But people on the internet had already came to their conclusion of who to blame, and that person was no other than Faze Banks. People were spreading all types of rumors online about Banks, stating that he sold his stake in Faze for millions of dollars, and with him basically getting all of the blame, that originally caused him to put out a tweet stating that he had nothing to do with what was going on in Faze Clan because he left months ago, but he will also be willing to help do whatever it is that he could do to save the organization. And apparently there had to be a little bit of false information to this tweet because Max viewed it on stream and he apparently found it a little bit funny. Now, obviously, really no one on social media was buying this tweet from Banks. Everyone felt like with him being the CEO and leaving months ago, there had to be something behind the scenes that he had to do with it, especially after Max seemingly laughed at this tweet he put out, which I guess all led to Banks getting more and more hate throughout the night, and that all led to him...
Why he didn't just give them, like, if he was CEO, he could have just gave one of them, or, you know what I'm saying, like, he could have gave them the creative freedom or something. Just gave them, I don't know.
Dropping a 12-minute video on Twitter talking about everything that went wrong with this whole new Faze Clan experiment. To sum it up, for the entire 12 minutes, he basically called Faze Clan fake, stating that they were all faking their friendships for personal gain. He also went on to constantly state that they were all ungrateful and they didn't have any career going before they met him, and how he's now in $40 million worth of debt because of how much he invested into them in Faze Clan, which apparently he received nothing back for.
These guys would have never lived in a house together if it wasn't for me. These guys are all at minimum 10 times the size in terms of audience and platform now as before they joined Faze. These guys have all made millions and millions and millions of dollars in the last 2 years. And I'm here to tell you, as former Faze Banks, this was one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my entire life. I gave up my entire adult life to this. I have put myself in millions and millions and millions of dollars in debt. I have never made not one singular dollar outside of my salary. Yeah, I think Faze, to acquire and all the costs for these guys' career.
I mean, all the money that you've been invested, like what was the contract? Like, what was the negotiation when everybody that joined signed the contracts? Like, what was on there? What was this, like, the negotiation between y'all? You know what I'm saying?
Careers over the last 2 years, I think ballpark $40 million. And I think probably collectively these guys have had to have probably made like 20 million in the last 2 years collectively, I would guess. And not $1 of that 20 million has ever gone back to Faze, never mind me. Even if it did ever go back to Faze, that shit, it's not mine. Truthfully and honestly, I find you guys all to be incredibly ungrateful. I find you guys all to have insane egos. And I think it's disgusting and makes me sick to my stomach that your guys' relationships with each other and with every other streamer, and your community included, is so incredibly fake. You guys are the best actors on planet Earth, and you've made a complete career out of all of it.
Now, Banks did in this entire thing was saying that he is going live tomorrow to go into more detail, but to me, it seemed like Banks was so focused on reviving Faze Clan that he never really had a plan intact to get a return on his investment. And after failing to get any of the members to agree to paying up a percentage of their revenue, it seems like he just tried to jump ship and sell his stake in the company for millions of dollars, possibly to help get himself out of debt. And the people he sold this thing to is probably looking for even more money than he was looking for, which is what probably all led to this Christmas Day disaster. But that's just my personal opinion. As you guys know, the only opinion that I really care about is y'all's opinion. So with that being said, be sure to comment down below and let me know, what do you think of this entire situation? Do you believe Banks had anything to do with this? Do you think Faze Clan is in the wrong for not wanting to give up a percentage? What do you think is...
All in all, there's a lot going on, you know, on both sides, on both parties, you know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah, like just in general, just things happen for a reason, and I think the best option is just for them to just split ways, and everybody just do their own thing. Or if it's not working out, you know what I'm saying, or if it's not going the way that how it's supposed to go, and there's a lot of complications with everything. But hey though, shout out to A Bando, you know what I'm saying, this is a good video, we'll give you a like. Yeah, this is an interesting topic. to say the least. Just like I said, bro. Like I've been witnessing the internet for a very long time, and the Faze Clan was just about Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? And like things, it's just crazy that it just evolved into just something different, and then now it's just, it's possibly dispersing and then releasing into the air. So you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Real crazy. But yeah, though. If comment down below what y'all think about this whole situation in general. You know what I'm saying? And if you like the video, make sure you leave a like and everything like that. Subscribe to your boy if you want to see more content like this, and make sure you hit the bell so so whenever you get notified, you can be able to tune in and everything like that. And yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying? Peace out. I'll see y'all guys in the next video. Bye. Peace out. Yeah.